We have quite a bit of good Tesla stock news. Electrify America announced today it will adopt Tesla's North American charging standard connector to Electrify America and Electrify Canada's fast charging networks, and they will do that by 2025. But that is not all. Blink will also add Tesla's charging connector to their EV chargers. It is now also official that Polestar will use Tesla's adapter as well. And it continues further. Volkswagen now is actively discussing with Tesla to optimize NACS performance and value for our customers. So sounds like Volkswagen is coming on board. A bit too late, but yeah, they're coming to charge Tesla superchargers. And this is my favorite piece of news today. Really good news for Tesla. This is Tesla's website in China. And right here you can see the estimated delivery date, which is 2 to 6 weeks from now. Well, this just used to be 1 to 5 weeks according to Sawyer. Although there is some conflicting information. Tesla Chan says it used to be 2 to 5 weeks. Either way, clearly this is good news for us Tesla stock investors and not so good news for Tesla consumers. This could signal a few things. Number one, there is a little bit more demand for Tesla in China. Number two, there is little inventory in China if you can get a delivery super quickly, although that would not be extremely definite, but we can certainly speculate. And right now, Tesla is probably shifting its focus more towards producing for export markets. For example, they are producing cars for Europe. So if you are exporting vehicles right now and you stop producing for the local market, then of course that would extend the wait times by a little bit. But then we know that Tesla is eliminating the delivery wave. Tesla has certainly flattened the delivery wave by quite a bit, although the first week was still slower this quarter, but it has not been nowhere near as slow as in the previous quarters. If indeed demand is quite strong in China, it might be reasonable to expect that this last week of the quarter is going to turn out stronger than expected. We'll see very soon. And we have some good macro news here as well. The GDP of the US increased by more than expected. So it appears that recession is maybe a little bit less likely now. Although if inflation persists, this gives more room for the Fed to raise interests higher. We expect Tesla to publish deliveries this Sunday, and currently the consensus is 446,823. If you would like to take a look at the consensus from Bloomberg, it is 448,000. And there's one more consensus, which is equal to 445,000. The reason why the Tesla survey compiled consensus is the most accurate is because it has the most analysts. And for 2023, 1.832 million deliveries are expected. We have a positive bullish rumor here. Tesla's revamped China-made Model 3 will use CATL's new M3P lithium iron phosphate battery with the base model battery pack capacity upgraded from 60 kilowatt hours to 66 kilowatt hours according to 36KR. And I found this to be interesting, although I'm not sure if this is based on an insider source or if it's just Chris's guess. But before, Chris did have some valuable tweets to us Tesla stock investors, seemingly based on somewhat insider information. So this does have some credibility. He says the new Model 3 will use CATL's LFMP material battery, 66 kilowatt hours, and the EPA range is about 480 kilometers. That would be about a 10% increase from right now. This is Tesla's website in Canada, and that would make it almost exactly 300 miles. If you are watching Tesla's deliveries, then you definitely want to pay attention to this one. There is a ship called Grande Torino that arrived in the UK at the port of Southampton on June 25th and finished unloading yesterday. It probably carried about 4,000 Teslas, and it's unclear if all of them will be delivered before the quarter ends. Also remember that in the UK, they drive on the other side of the road. So even though Europe still has quite a bit of inventory, relatively speaking, that inventory cannot just be shipped to the UK. So this is making it a little bit interesting. Now, I wonder if this has anything to do with Tesla pulling out, reportedly, out of negotiations with Spain to build a factory in Spain. The Spanish government is aiming to boost sales of electric cars with a tax break for private individuals. The Council of Ministers has approved a deduction of 15% of income tax for the purchase of electric vehicles. Could be a coincidence, or could be one of the things that perhaps Tesla asked for, and maybe they are now trying to get the interest back from Tesla. Although I think it probably doesn't have much to do with Tesla, because this tax relief will only apply until the end of 2025, so not a long time. Although the tax exemption can be as high as 20,000 euros. That is quite a bit, although it depends on your income, of course. This does seem a little bit unfair, because if you are low income, let's say you only make 40,000 a year instead of 120,000 a year, then you won't get that much of a tax break, basically, because you don't make all that much money. The U.S. Department of Energy has released a notice of intent to invest $2 billion from the Inflation Reduction Act to accelerate domestic manufacturing of electrified vehicles, except there are a few major problems here. That $2 billion will go towards electrified vehicles, which include vehicles such as hybrids, plug-in electric hybrids, and hydrogen fuel cell electric vehicles. This is pretty interesting. This company launched an interactive configurator for wraps for the Cybertruck, and some of them look good, some of them look I think, but I like the black one. The black one I think looks pretty good. This one, no, this one looks terrible. Yesterday, this was going around on Twitter, and I saw it when it had very few views, and I thought, who would fall for this? Well, turns out 233,000 people saw this, and luckily the community notes stepped in, and it says the picture attached in the tweet is digitally altered from a pre-existing photo taken of the Cybertruck. The original photo can be found in this article. Yep. So if you saw that picture before the community notes corrected the post, then just understand this was a fake sighting. We have a bit of a debate going on Twitter. A Tesla bear says that every single Tesla pretty much now has discounts if that vehicle is in inventory. But Gary replies and says, you keep forgetting that end of quarter inventory discounts to balance quarterly orders and production are not the same as price cuts. Inventory discounts impact current quarter margins. Price cuts get built into earnings and valuation models indefinitely. Investors are correctly perceiving Q2 gross margins as a bottom. That's why Tesla stock is up 53% since Tesla annual meeting versus NASDAQ only being up 11%. But James has a very good point here. I think it's the same thing, Gary. The income statement doesn't care when the cut happens. I agree. It presents better from a brand perspective, but it is effectively the same since most cars sold will get the lower price. Although Gary responds and says that's mathematically incorrect, that an analyst builds a model. They build it based on volume x price x margin. If they are doing it right, they model by quarter. If it's an inventory discount, it only impacts that quarter. If it's a price cut, analytically, they have to reduce price indefinitely in their model. The first has minor impact on valuation, the latter has a huge impact. But James responds with, well, maybe they will start modeling it indefinitely, because if these, let's say, inventory discounts never go away, then you sort of should start modeling these, is the point that James is trying to make. And Gary says, I agree with you, why an EV advertising is needed. Although I see some people saying that the discounts are only on demo vehicles, basically, not on new vehicles. So here I am looking at Tesla's inventory. This one is a demo vehicle, and it does have a discount. This one, it does not say that it is a demo vehicle, although it does have a discount. When I click on it, it does say it is a new vehicle with a discount. So it appears if the vehicle is not a new vehicle, it will show mileage right here. And if it is a new vehicle, it won't show anything. So scrolling down, seems like these are indeed new vehicles, and this one is, and this one only has 54 miles. This one has 300. This one seems like a new vehicle. Yeah, so many of them seem to be new vehicles. Actually, if I just keep scrolling down, yeah, there are certainly some demo vehicles, but a lot of them are new vehicles. Overall, a good day for Tesla stock. I think the sentiment was starting to turn against Tesla stock, but with today's good news, I think, seemingly perhaps, that seems to be turning around, and maybe the positive sentiment will continue. We'll see on Sunday what happens to Tesla's deliveries. In the meantime, YouTube wants you to watch this video next, but if you haven't finished watching this Elon Musk interview, watch this one first. My name is Matt Posius. Like and subscribe if you haven't yet, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.